It's your girl, Lady Mocha. And you know I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off with a slice of knowledge. Happy 4th of July. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I hope your 4th of July went well. Hope you got to enjoy your day off, kick it with family and friends. Had you a couple of ice houses, had you some hot dogs, hamburgers, grilled chicken, some spare ribs. I just hope you was able to kick back and chill today. Well, really it's all about Independence Day, really, but I know a lot of people don't look at the 4th of July as such. They just look at it as another day to just have a day off from work, basically, and just a day where you can kick it with family and friends. But for whatever reason you decided to celebrate this particular holiday, just know that everything was for a reason. Somebody paid the price for us to have the freedom that we have today. So just don't take it for granted, and always just keep that in mind. Somebody had to pay the price for us to be where we are. But on that note, I hope everyone has had a wonderful 4th of July. Me, on the other hand, mine has been pretty good. Of course, I'm probably am the only woman in America that is the actual grill master of her household. Yes, I do all of the grilling. I think my husband has probably grilled maybe twice in our 18-year marriage. The other the other 60, 80, or 200 times I have done all the grilling. Yes, I am the griller of the house. He can grill, he can, but he's so spoiled and he's used to me doing it. So I mean, the only thing he did help do, he did help eat up everything, but he did not lift a finger. I did it all. I grilled some chicken, I did some hot dogs, some hamburgers. Not that I mind, you know. I think it's cool every once in a while for a woman to wear the pants. So, you know, it is what it is. We enjoyed ourselves. I didn't really kick it with nobody. I just, you know, grilled a little bit of food on the grill, and that way we could just chill and just kick back or whatever. So that was my 4th of July, basically. I just stayed at home and grilled out, had me some wine, watched a couple of movies, and just kicked it. So for everybody who want to know what I've been doing, that's what my 4th of July has been about. So I just thank God he blessed me to see another day. But on that note, I know I rambled on enough. I want to definitely go into today's topic. And as y'all can see, I'm doing a voiceover because I've had a long day today. I've been grilling. You know, I've been on my feet between grilling the majority of the day. Then I did the cooking. I did the deviled eggs. I did the baked beans. I've been on my foot all day. So I do not look my best. Okay. And I was not going to let none of y'all see me slipping today. So I look drained, basically. But I definitely had to do this topic. I had to do this recipe because as you ladies and as my guys, y'all know, I go on social media. I don't like it, but being that I'm in a blog and this is something I have to do, that way I can keep all of y'all updated on what's going on out here in the real world. And basically what ended up happening was, as you can see, I had posted a short video of these 2 different videos that I stumbled across when I was on Facebook. And I can say that it had really, really disturbed me. I found it very disturbing. And it just really gave me an eye opener to the simple fact that, you know, I thought thirst was just something that was an issue for men. You know, for the longest, I've always just kind of noticed how men, you know, would just gawk over, you know, women, you know, like dogs in heat. You know, she could be built like a vending machine with Debbie snacks, and men would, you know, sit up here and compliment these females that look like rhinoceroses and wolverines and compliment them and tell them how good they look and tell them how sexy they are, you know, giving these unattractive rhinoceros Shrek looking women these delusional um thoughts that they really look good and they really look attractive, when really the bottom line is, you know, you just have a lot of brothers out there that are just thirsty. They basically they're dehydrated, you know what I mean? So they got DICK dehydration. You get what I'm saying? They got DIC, you know, DICK dehydration, you know, dick dehydration, basically. So it's a lot of brothers out here who will give these women, these females that are not that attractive and don't have a lot going for them, but they will pump them up and give them all this hype, lying to them, telling them they look good, telling them they find them sexy. And the bottom line was, you know, I just thought this was something the men had an issue with. But after I saw both of these video clips, it has basically changed my whole perspective, because I've come to realization that there are some women out there that are just as, if not more thirsty than these dudes out here. It's a lot of sisters out here that are sipping on this, sipping on a lot of um um you know, Gatorade, you know. It's a lot of sisters out here that are very, very extremely dehydrated. You notice I said dehydrated. I didn't say dehydrated. Dehydrated. That's my new word, y'all. Peep that. Write that down in your memo, okay? But there's a lot of my sisters out here, they're very dehydrated, you know. And both of these videos definitely prove that point. As you can see, I posted both of these clips before I actually went into my voiceover, because I wanted to break down the dynamics of this whole situation about these females that are, you know, looking for their thirst to be quenched. You have a lot of sisters out there that are dick deprived, um, that are very you know, but horny. I'm just starting to notice it's just a lot of, you know, horny sisters out here, and they are just really displaying, you know, their thirst for being dehydrated, you know. And maybe I'm alone on this, but I'm just starting to peep this a lot, that when females see men carrying on like, you know, and panting like, you know, rock rollers and heat. It just surprises me that a lot of these females, that it turns them on, they find it attractive. When any real woman with real substance, she's not going to find things like this as a turn on. She's not going to um consider this type of behavior, a man carrying himself in this manner, as something appealing. If anything, if she's a real woman that has any real substance or any real value, she's going to look at a brother who does things like this and looks at it as utter disgust. And I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break down all of the elements because, I know there's going to be a few sisters out there saying, Mocha's a hater. Mocha is too self-righteous, or how you knocking us when men been doing it for years. I'm gonna go into all the dynamics because I know all of that is gonna come at me. So, and I'm prepared. But on that note, that's irrelevant to me. I just want to break down the dynamics of this whole situation now. As you can see with these two clips that I have edited and formatted before this voiceover that I'm doing, there's two guys. There's these two dudes, okay? The first dude is the guy, this dude with the dreads or whatever. I don't know. He's a stripper. I don't know if he's a convict that's just been released out the halfway house. I don't know him personally. I just so happened, like I stated, I stumbled across these two videos, and I was just so um astonished at all of the comments, that the women, that the females were posting on these videos, and it just, again, like I stated, it was really an eye-opener for me. It made me realize that there are a lot of thirsty broads out here. There's a lot of thirsty broads. They're dick-hydrated, and for them to find things like this attractive, like be impressed about, is something that they find alluring. It just really, it makes me look at women in a different light. Not saying that I look at all women, because there's a difference between women and females. You get what I'm saying? Women have more class, they have more elegance, they have more intelligence. A woman is not impressed or appealed by a man's sexual gestures. She always looks beneath the surface. She looks at his intellect. She looks at his masculinity, and not just by the fact of how big his Johnson is, but how big his intellect is. And if you are a real woman of real substance, of real value, you're not going to get intrigued by uh, what a man can do sexually in the bedroom. That's the least of your worries. You're looking at the main important stuff. Does he have good morals? Does he have good values? Does he want a family? What's his foundation? What kind of family did he come from? What's his upbringing? If you're a real woman, that's the stuff you're going to check out first. You'll focus on the package later. Not to say that's not important, because believe me, that's very important. It's very important. But if you are a female and you make this a priority, you're not a woman. You're just an average female, because your level of thinking is so mediocre. If that is what impresses you, if that's what intrigues you. But let me go on into these comments. I'm the dude with the dreads. I'm gonna just call him Dreads because I don't know his name. You get what I'm saying? So Dreads basically got this video going viral. And I apologize to you fellas out there, because I know some of y'all are very heterosexual. I notice a lot of heterosexual men, when you show them things like this, they just break out in hives, like they get an allergic reaction, like they got stung with a bee. I get it. My husband is the same way. He don't like seeing no man make no type of sexual gesture. So I apologize, guys, that y'all had to see that. But in order for me to make a point that I'm going to make, I had to post all of that first. So please forgive me for having to post this video. I know it's not for your viewing pleasure, but in order for me to talk about this situation, I had to post it so everybody could get where I'm coming from. Now, when I seen this video of him, I automatically went into the comments. Now, this video has gone viral. It's all over social media. And like I said, these women, I know the majority of them probably done got so wet, they felt like they came out the sweat. They felt like they came out the swimming pool when they seen this video. Me, I just didn't find it flattering. it just straight up turned me off. You know, I don't, to me, you know, I can't speak for other women, but I've never liked a man who's been too open about what he does sexually with other women. I don't care for stuff like that. You know what I mean? But anyway, I did leave a comment. I left a comment. I posted a comment underneath this video because it made me feel some type of way. And I'm going to let y'all know what I actually wrote, what I commented on, what I had included in the video. So what I did was I went underneath and this is what I added as a comment. I stated, if he's that open, most likely he would do that with just about any woman. A man that has real skills is discreet with his stroke game and tongue technique abilities. He will only utilize those skills on the women he really cares to be with. Don't give me a Lexus if you had many people driving it. So when I post that comment, believe it or not, I had got more positive feedback than I got negative. You know, I thought a lot of women was going to come for me and figured I'm on some hateration thing, but I did have a few women who actually co-signed and did agree with me and said, you know, they agreed and they understood exactly where I was coming from. Like, you know, nah, if a dude is really, you know, into you, you know what I mean, he's not going to do, it's just certain things you don't do with every woman, you know what I mean, certain sexual skills or certain things you do with your stroke game, you preserve certain things for your woman, and then there's other things you do with a freak. Okay, there's just certain things you don't do. And the point that I was making with my comment was, if he's up here posting this video showing what he does with his tongue, 9 times out of 10 he probably does, you're not special, he does that with almost every woman. For him to be that free and for him to be that open about, you know, what he does and how he does it, that means he does it with everybody. Because my thing is, a man who knows his skills and knows, you know, how good he is with his stroke game abilities, he's going to be more discreet. He's not going to be going around broadcasting or show letting other broads know what he does and how he does it. So to me, it gave me a different perspective. That, I mean, I really didn't get turned on about it. It made me look at it in a different view. Like, dude, if you're that explicit with what you do and you're posting it virally, that lets me know, hell, you do that with just about you'll do that with just about any woman. That's what I'm getting. That's the indication I'm getting. It's no different, guys, that if you see a woman post a video virally of herself giving a guy fellatio, you're not going to be interested in her. Because the way you look at it is, if she's going to post a virally what she does with another man in the bedroom, you know, 9 times out of 10 she's done it with several other dudes. Anybody that's very open with their sexuality is because they've been with a lot of people and they've done it with a lot of people, and basically they have no shame, they have no discretion, they don't care who they let know about what they do and how they do it. So again, if you are a person with wisdom and knowledge, you're going to read in between the lines. You're not going to get hype off the first thing that you see. So anyway, that was the comment I posted. And I had a gentleman that went underneath and said, preach women. Real men don't show off all their tricks to the world, but just to her. And this I know. I mean, any man that knows he's good at what he does, he's not going to post something viral like that, because he's not going to want to attract all type of doggone skeezers. You know, if you're a man with substance, you're a man with dignity, you're going to be very selective about who you expose your bedroom secrets to. And the same thing as a woman. If you're a woman with any type of class or dignity, you're not going to sit there and you're not going to screw every Tom, Dick, and Daryl that you see, because you treasure your body, you treasure yourself enough to know that you are a woman of substance, and you're going to make sure whoever you open up to is going to be somebody worth opening up to. You're not going to do that with any and everybody. But if you're the kind of woman, you lack self-esteem, you lack morals, that means you will give yourself up to anybody, anywhere, anytime. And that's how you set yourself up to basically the fall in that category of becoming a thought. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead on because I'm digressing. I had another woman go up there saying, exactly, I want to see an STD test report. That will impress me. Okay. And then another woman put you nailed it. And you know, I got a couple of props for that comment. In other words, it was some women, they was not flattered by that. They looking at it like I'm looking at it like, wow. I mean, you that open dude, hell, let me see your STD report. Let me see your baby mama list. You know, something got to be up because you just way too open. Okay. Now let me go into the comments for why I'm doing this video. Okay. Of course, we had a couple of thirsty sisters that came on here and said, um, oh, I just seen this one. A guy came on here and said, I'm just making sure my bitch not on here being thirsty. Carry on. Now that was funny. Now that was hella funny. I didn't even see that comment. But that's a good one. A female went on here. I just want to read the thirsty comments so y'all can understand where I'm coming from. I bet everybody he used his tongue on bust his windows, throw away his condoms, destroy his furniture, all that. Okay, then somebody got some he's sexy as F-U-C-K. Y'all know what that is. Another person says, let me see. Hold on. Because I'm trying to make sure I recite the comments that I felt um basically had the most thirst. There was another female that said, yes, Lord. She spelled it AWDDDDDDD. So yes, she's definitely a thirst candidate. You got a lot of women up here who doing tongue emojis and all this other stuff. Somebody put this is a hell of a long tongue. Know what, some more comments up here, but y'all pretty much get the drift of where I'm going. You know, a lot of these women was flooding in like Mississippi River when they seen this video go viral. First thing that came to my mouth is my God. Okay. Let's see, he fine as F-U-C-K. But this one has, but my man head game strong. First of all, you don't even that's dumb that you even sitting up there letting somebody know that your man head game is strong, and then you and your dude isn't you got you and your man and your freaking profile picture. As thirsty as these females are, you making your man a thirst target. Females do some dumb stuff. Why sit up here and let somebody know doggone how good your man is in bed? This is just, you know what? You just open the door to the enemy when you do stuff like that. Yeah, he handles his business, works hard, and takes care of his family. You don't need to be posting all out on Facebook. You don't need to make yourself open to the enemy. Let me see. Why is this dude can reach every corner? Man is not asking none of y'all to eat or look on y'all wolf. You know what? He is simply showing his talent. Oh, you consider that talent? All righty. Now this one female, she went in strong. She didn't find us appealing. So fellas, just to let you know, it's a lot of women out here that are being women. They're not falling for the okie doke. Every woman is not dehydrated. Am I supposed to find this sexy? Niggas is more attention starved than these females. Ladies and gentlemen are truly becoming a thing of the past. And she's absolutely right. You got something. I'm starting to notice you got some men out here that are, well, I won't say men because men handle their business, but you got a lot of boys out here that are just as thirsty as some of these thoughts, man. They are constantly seeking attention and validation. So it's starting just like the point I was getting ready to make, that I'm starting to notice there's a lot of females that are thirsting just as bad as these dudes out here. But on the other hand, there's also a lot of dudes that are seeking just as much as attention as these thoughts out here. I mean, it's terrible that you know, the tables are turning, you know. Well, how the tables are turning. Let me see. But anyway, y'all get the drift of what I'm pretty much saying. Basically, because I'm not going to read through all of these comments because way too many. But for the most part, it was a lot of females, as I stated, who commented on this, and it was turned on by this guy's his tongue tricks or whatever. And it just pretty much, it saddens me that it's a strong reality that it's a lot of thirsty females out here. And what I'm starting to notice is, believe it or not, it's a lot of females, and I know a lot of y'all may not believe it, but it's a lot of females out here who are having a difficult time getting laid. I'm gonna be honest. It's a lot of females out here that are having a difficult time being laid. And being that is such, what I'm starting to notice, slowly but surely, you dudes are catching on. Dudes are catching on. Y'all are not easily giving it up like y'all used to. You have men are starting to be a little bit more selective now. Of course, there's gonna always still be some fools that are still gonna, you know, give out, give out, dick like it's a free bus pass. It's gonna always be a sucker. You know what I mean? That's just gonna always give himself up to any and everybody. That's just that. That's just how that is. But for the most part, ain't too many of you men falling for the okie doke. As men start getting older, and now that it's been so many things that have occurred, side chicks or snitching, they getting pregnant, the females out here have changed the game. So it's starting to scare a lot of brothers off to the point now to where it's not too many dudes that are checking for these thirsty women, you know. Or if they do, they're not dealing with them as frequently as they used to out there. But for the most part, it's a lot of women that are having a hard time even just getting laid because the fact that they have scared a lot of dudes off. They've scared a lot of dudes off with their craziness, their possessiveness, their clinginess. It's a lot of females out there who, once you put it on them, you put that good pipe on them, they don't know how to act. They get strung out. They want to bust up to your job. They want to bust out your car windows with a can of Glory Greens. They want to stalk your wife. It's a lot of problems. And the majority of men who have experienced it and who have been lucky to walk away without a bruise or a scratch, a lot of them are not turning back because they realize these side chicks, they're too risky. These side chicks are too risky. They bring a lot of problems because, as I stated to all of the guys before, if y'all don't remember, what's starting to happen is these females out here is more than just, back in the day used to be about just being able to get you in bed. If a woman was able to get a man in bed, even if he was a married woman, she already felt like she had accomplished something. Just the fact that she was able to, get that man to just simply take her to bed. She already felt like she had accomplished something, and she was cool with that. But what's starting to happen is now is these females on a whole nother level of thirst. It's not just about getting a man and laying up with him and taking him to bed. Back then, all a woman wanted was that pipe, and she would be okay. You pay a bill or two, she would be okay. But what has happened, guys and ladies, if some of y'all want to co-sign or whatever, tell the truth, shame the devil. Basically what has happened is more than just getting pipe. These females want to bring chaos and misery to your household. Back then, like I said, women was okay with just getting your pipe, and as long as she was getting that and you paid a bill or two, she didn't say a word to your old lady. Even if she saw your wife in the street, even if she saw your wife in the grocery store, even if she went to the same church with you and your wife, she would never cross any lines. The wife would never even knew she existed because side chicks knew how to stay in their place. But what has happened over the years is females have become so thirsty, they just don't want just the pipe anymore. They want to sabotage. They're not content with with these men just taking them to bed and throwing them a few dollars here and there. What has happened is these thirst traps have become so miserable because the majority of them have tainted themselves by being so sexually promiscuous within their community. They have built a name for themselves. They have tarnished themselves. So what has happened is they know that they no longer have any real value with their hot pocket. So now that's no longer them giving up the hot pocket is not enough to make them feel validated. These women want women these days, these side chicks today, they want to sabotage. They want to bring Harvard to the household. It's not about just getting what they could get from you and leaving. They want to destroy. And the reason they want to destroy your household is because a lot of them are miserable. And as we know, miserable people have nothing to lose. It's all about I'm miserable because I have tainted myself based on all of the men I have slept with, based on the name that I have created for myself by being a thought and being a sleaze and being a whore. I have tarnished myself. And being that I have put myself in a situation because I have basically built a bad rep, a bad name. And let me tell you something, a bad reputation is unfortunately that's a curse you bring upon yourself, because once you gain a reputation, it's hard to get that stain off of you. People will always remember you for not so much who you're trying to be, but for everything you have done. It will constantly follow you. And that's basically what's going on. So what, as I stated, the majority of these females that have tarnished themselves and tarnished their hot pockets, to the point to where everybody knows their name, nobody's not even interested in sleeping with them, or even dealing with them sexually, because again, guys are catching on, they're not as dumbfounded, and now they know there's a thirst trap. They don't want to get caught in a thirst trap. So what has happened is, being that not too many men are open to entering into these thirst traps, these women are becoming thirsty now. So any opportunity a brother or dude, wants to share and expose his sexual gestures and his sexual abilities, these women, they find it intriguing, because a lot of them, they're not, they luck has gotten so bad to the point they're not even getting laid like they used to. Men, these dudes are running from them, especially if they've been in the same neighborhood for a long time and everybody knows her on that block. Ain't too many dudes fooling with her like that. You may have one or two suckers, but for the most part, once you build a name for yourself, especially when you're in a certain town where everybody know everybody, that's it. And the thing about it is, you ain't even got to be in the same town, because you have some thoughts they know they have polluted their, they have that polluted PUSSY basically. They try to relocate to other areas, but eventually, um it's a saying, you could take the thought out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the thought. Eventually they end up moving somewhere else and doing the same thing. Or what happened is, even if they go somewhere and they're not doing it as much often as that often, still eventually those hoish ways going to creep out. If a man is real wise, he'll still be able to read in between the lines, no matter how hard she tries to conceal her hoism or thoughtism. You know what I mean? A man is still going to read in between the lines. But that is what's happening. That is why when these females see these videos going viral, because think about it, if a woman's getting sexually pleased enough, she's not going to get intrigued by that. She don't care how much a man sticks his tongue out and does all his sexual gestures. That's not going to turn her on. When you're used to getting that regularly, or you're in a relationship where you get that regularly, that's not going to mean anything to you. You know what I mean? You can't get impressed. I mean, if your needs are getting well taken care of, that stuff like that don't flatter you. I mean, maybe that's why it didn't flatter me. But basically, if your old man is holding it down in the bedroom, I mean, you're not gonna get turned on about stuff like that. A lot of these women are getting turned on. They're getting, because a lot of them are dehydrated. The moment they see, uh, um, let me see. Okay, want to make sure my voice didn't thing didn't go out. So the moment they see stuff like this, they make it a big deal, because a lot of them, their sexual needs aren't getting met. And either it comes from the fact that, they have tarnished themselves, or because of their attitudes or the way that they are, it's just not too many brothers checking for them like that, or don't want to deal with them like that. So a lot of them are dehydrated, because ain't too many brothers want to deal with their nasty attitudes, want to put up with their demands, want to put up with the mind games and stuff. So a lot of them are dehydrated. Now, this is the next point that I wanted to make. Like I said, do with the dreads. As you see, I got two clips that I had formatted. Now, The second one, this coincidentally, this guy has dreads. What is it with the guys with dreads? I mean, is this thirst month for dudes with dreads? I mean, what's going on? Mm. Anyway, coincidentally, they both have dreads. I just find out funny. Um, the second dude, let me put y'all on about him. He also he had a video that went viral. His video actually is a little bit older because I remember seeing the second the guy that's molesting the peach. His video was out since last year. I've seen it going viral then. And of course, I guess it was the video has resurfaced or whatever since this other guy's video. And the same thing, a lot of women, went commenting on this dude's page, because of the way, he was, having oral sex with this peach, evidently. Again, a lot of these thirst wenches, they went cuckoo for cocoa puffs. A lot of them got turned on by it. A lot of them, like I said, found it intriguing, found it appealing. A lot of these thirsty females, they just really got turned on by it. And I'm gonna just read a few comments. I'm not gonna read a lot of them because it's every bit of almost 16,000 comments. But I'm gonna just read the main ones. And the first one says, I just had an orgasm. Okay, like I said, it's a lot. The thirst is real, y'all. Somebody else got now you do this, we official, and you ain't going nowhere. Okay. Somebody says, well, dang, why am I just seeing this for the first time? How many men, I'm trying to keep this rated G. She really said the N word, but I'm gonna say how many ends lick the what sideways. Okay. Another thirst trap. Can you eat a peach like that? What games? What the F kind of games he playing? Where does he live at? Somebody got love this video. Somebody has, okay, that's the best peach porn I ever saw. That's what Ray J put in her comment. Brandy puts in there, that's what's up, fellas. Get your pen and pad and take notes. Now you got a profile picture with your man, and that's what you posted. You saying fella taking notes. I don't know if you referring that to your man. That's in your profile picture. That's it. Okay, but anyway, y'all get the picture. Because my time, I know my videos will be very, very long. I'm trying to learn how to cut down on that. But y'all get the picture. Now, this is the catch-22. Okay. First of all, before I go into the second information, before I go into that, my thing is, to me, that that brother wasn't even that attractive. To me, he was hurt in the face. To me, he was hurt in the face. I didn't even see nothing attractive about him. And I'm not saying, he may not be my type and other women won't, that don't mean other women should be attracted to him. But my thing is, he's not even that good looking. He's not even that attractive. And just because, he demonstrated oral sex on his peach, all of these females, the majority of these females went, bonkers, talking about how good, how good he is and how they want him to do them like that. I'm like, is y'all serious? I mean, this dude could have looked like basically the crypt keeper. And as long as he knew how to use his tongue, that's all that mattered to the majority of these females. I'm like, first of all, he's but his face just, he just looks like he's been through a lot in life. He's not even that attractive. I didn't see nothing attractive or sexy about him walking around with that colorful towel on that looked like a rug off his grandmother's floor. He just looked like a hot mess. I wouldn't even want him nowhere near my cookie jar, but that's just my opinion. That's besides the point. This is the point that I wanted all of y'all to understand. What a lot of women did not, a lot of the thoughts who commented on this dude and who found this attractive and intriguing, if you notice the clip of the video, after I showed his clip, I put up his uh record, and his record basically displayed that he's a sexual offender. He is a registered sex offender. And every last woman all the females who commented on his page should feel like straight herbs to know that they were getting turned on, and they found this dude's tongue skills alluring, not understanding that this man has a thing for children. Go figure. Which brings me to my other point. This is why a lot of these women end up moving all kind of men into their homes. See, he's the type of dude that'll get a hold of some thirsty broad with low self-esteem, who's easy to get turned on. You know, basically as long as he knows how to use his tongue skills, she'll let him move on in her house. And next thing she know, if she has children, he mess with one of her kids. This is why so many Black women have made themselves become targets to sexual predators, to molesters, because they are too busy um, focusing on how good the man is in bed and what he can do with his mouth and what he can do with his pipe, not getting no real research or thorough background in this dude, finding out if he got a record, finding out if he's a molester, finding out if he comes from a crazy family. This is how a lot of females make themselves targets of being used and bringing sexual predators into their home, because these women are not doing their research. As I stated, this man has a record as being a sexual offender, and all of these females up here praising him for his tongue game. It's very embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me as a Black woman that you have Black women around here, and it's not just Black women. Let me back it up. You have many women of other races who also do this as well. But the majority of the comments that I seen, I'm gonna be honest, the majority of them was Black women. I didn't really see any white women going there and say, oh, his tongue is great. Or it probably was maybe one or two, you know. And I'm not trying to make us stand out like the sore thumb, because again, I'm a Black woman too. But what I'm saying is, ladies, this is the reason why we become targets. We make ourselves become targets because we are easy to be manipulated. We're easy to be manipulated if a man has good stroke game, if a man has good tongue game. If that's all it takes for you to find a man intriguing, then you're going to always be used. You're going to always get played. And the majority, and that's the thing, a lot of these sexual offenders, a lot of these dirty dudes out here, a lot of them have come to the realization that all I got to know how to do is give up good pipe and know how to give good head, and I'm in there. She'll accept me. She'll let me move in her home. She'll make me her man. I've seen it 1,000 times. And then these women come home from work early, or come in early into their house, and find this dude banging their daughter out or touching one of their children. I've heard of stories like this. You know, I knew there was somebody my mom knew, a friend of a friend of a friend. You know, she been going with this man dude for years. I mean, very nice looking, well dressed, you know, funny guy, you know, never would even put two and two together that this man was sick, that he had issues. Because let's face it, it's not just women out there with mental illnesses. You got a lot of dudes out there with mental illnesses. And like I said, he was a very well put together brother. And unfortunately, one day, as the woman, or as his woman was at work, her son came home early from school, and he entered the apartment and, you know, knocked on his sister's door. The sister wouldn't come to the door. He bust the door open and caught his stepdaddy banging his sister out. And couldn't find out he been banging her for years. And the girl just never told because she was scared. She knew how much her mom loved him, and she felt like, nobody was going to come to her rescue, so she just didn't tell anything. And then come to find out, he had other daughters who coincidentally said they had experienced the same thing. So when he got caught, he got arrested, she called herself going out to the jail because, she wanted to confront him. I guess once reality sank in and she realized how it affected her daughter, she wanted to confront him and go off. And, I guess at that point, she really wanted, to go off on him. And he would not give her that closure. He would not give her that relief. No matter how many times she came to that jail, he would not talk to her through that window. She was left to deal with that anger. And it was not to say that no matter what excuse or explanation he would have came up with, it would have not been enough to make her feel better. Just the fact that he was so dirty about it is bad enough. You know, he did that. He destroyed her daughter's life and destroyed hers. But then he wasn't even man enough to try to apologize or say I was wrong. He left it hanging just like that. And again, that was her stupidity, because my thing is, as a woman, you should be able to read in between the lines. You got to be a deep analyzer. You study your children's behavior when that man comes around. You so in love with him, you so busy kissing and sneaking and hugging up all over him because you're so glad to have a man in your house, and you're not looking at how your daughters act around him. She acting different, she talking funny, or she never want to be around you as much when he's there. I mean, come on, ladies, we got to do better. Read in between the lines. But anyway, I'm all over the place. I want to go ahead and wrap this up, because I know my videos could be very long-winded. This is my point. I say all that to say this. Until these women learn to start having better discernment, better spiritual discernment, use their wisdom, use their knowledge, get some spiritual awareness, they're going to continue to make themselves become victims of these predators and all of these other men, because a man ain't got to be a sexual predator to bring havoc on your house. He can be an abuser. I mean, it's so many levels to the game that a lot of these thirsty females out there not understanding. But it's so many women out here that are dehydrated, and they so badly want their kitty cat to be stroked and pet. They don't care who does it or where it comes from. As women, you need to learn and not just focus on what these men can do sexually in the bedroom. I don't care how attractive he is. I don't care how good his pipe game is, his tongue stroke is. You need to learn this man's history. You need to do a thorough background investigation on these men before you fall in love with them, before you catch feelings for them, before you move them up in your house and trust him with your children, trust him in your home. Women, we have to do better. Stop being thirsty. Stop getting turned on because what you see ain't always what the hell you get. If you're a woman with any real class, any real dignity, you're not going to get impressed by how a man exploits what he does in the bedroom. If anything, that should turn you off. If a man, first of all, if a man is talking to you about what he can do sexually, that's letting you know where his state of mind is. That's letting you know how less he thinks of you. Because if a man who really loves you or appreciates you for you, he wants to get to know you. Let me tell you something. Sex can be a great thing. It's supposed to be a great thing, but it's even greater when you save the best for last. I mean, kind of, some things are more appreciative or more edifying if it's utilized the right way. In other words, when you and that person really have a connection, sex is just going to enhance the connection that's already there. But what's going on with a lot of people now, and with a lot of these thoughts, and with a lot of these thirsty dudes, what's happening is a lot of people are having sex first, then connecting later. And do you wonder why you can't stand a person, but you still keep dealing with them? Because what it is, the sex has clouded your judgment. You have become stigmatized to the point where even though you know you're not connecting with that person intellectually or spiritually or mentally, what has happened is once you become so sexually involved, and same thing for you fellas, you become so sexually involved, that's all the relationship is based upon, is just the sex. And you wonder why you're miserable, because what it is, you've learned to enjoy that part. But the problem is is not making up for the other parts that's just as important, as far as having a connection, being able to communicate. If that is all y'all have to keep the relationship going, then eventually you're going to be miserable. Both of you are going to be miserable. If there's no real love, there's no real connection, there's no real communication, I'm telling you, sex is going to wear out thin real quick. Y'all can do it in several different positions. I don't care if y'all go to the the sexual novelty shops. You could buy the lubrication and the motion lotion and all of these other, I don't care how much enhancements you add into the sex, until there's a real connection or a real vibe, it's going to get old. I promise you, it's going to get old. Like I said in my videos, and I'll say it again, sex is supposed to be the gravy to the steak and potatoes, but the steak and potatoes should be good first before you add the gravy. Okay. If all you eating is the gravy, then what good is it? If only the gravy is good, but the steak ain't good and the potatoes ain't good, and the steak and the potatoes, that's supposed to be the main element. That's the way it works. You and the person have to have a real connection, a real vibe. But if you're in thirst mode, and that goes for ladies and gentlemen, if you're in thirst mode, you're going to become a thirst target, which means you're going to only connect with people um based on getting your thirst quenched. And like I said, if that's all y'all have, and that's all y'all have made a part of y'all connection between the both of y'all, then that's all it's going to be. And basically, it's going to fizzle right on out. It's going to end because there's nothing there to make the relationship more edifying. There's no real substance. There's nothing else added to the equation to make the relationship um more solid. Basically, that's what I'm stating. So that is really, the reason why I decided to do this little content. I'm not going to hold y'all up all night, because I said, again, I know my videos are very long-winded. I just had to do a quick content on this because I was just really, bothered by the way these women were panting on. These women were acting like a bunch of cats in a cage over just one male cat. I mean, it was just, I'm like, wow, I'm just surprised. It's shocking to believe that it's just so many women out here that are just as thirsty as these dudes. But I explained before, a lot of it has to do with a lot of them have tainted and tarnished themselves to the point that now, to where they have to become thirsty, because there's not too many brothers out there checking for them. They done tainted themselves, and they got a reputation, or they got so much baggage to the point to where if a man meets them, they're not trying to really get with them on that level. So that's causing a lot of women to be thirsty. So, I don't know. What do y'all think, ladies? What's your opinion? Why do you think women are so find things like this so intriguing? Why do you think these women are so impressed, by these brothers' stroke game and their tongue abilities? Why do you think females today are so turned on by what a guy has to offer them sexually versus what he has to offer intellectually? Same thing from you guys. I want to hear from you. What is you guys' opinion on this? What is your reason for why you think guys put themselves out there sexually? I would like to get y'all point of view as well. I just basically want to do some brain surgery on this. I would like all of y'all opinions. Let me know what you think about this whole situation, because I know the thirst is real. And these videos that went viral, like I said, gave me a very strong indication of that. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Post in the comments. Give me y'all comments on how y'all feel about this whole situation. Other than that, I hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July. I know I am stuffed. I done ate too much. I don't have too much wine, so I know I'm pretty much done for the rest of the evening. So I am going to go ahead and shut it down. But y'all know how I do. Y'all know y'all going to see me upload some more new content. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to check out my Patreon. I'm going to be putting some more new material there. There's going to be material on Patreon that I'm not going to post here on YouTube. So just kind of be on the lookout for that, okay? So on that note, I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in with your girl, Lady Mocha, here at Mocha's Cafe de Paris Lounge. Well, I'm going to always break you off a slice of knowledge, and I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a wonderful 4th of July. Until then, I'm out. Bye.